On average, before, during and after menopause, women gain around 25 pounds in weight. Chanel was experiencing this problem and difficulty losing fat, but now she's transformed her body, and I'm going to share her secret for this fast fat loss and how she worked out less and ate more. Hello fam, and welcome to my channel. My name's Melissa Neal, and this channel is all about helping you if you're a woman over 40 or like me over 50 get in incredible shape. And I hope you agree, Chanel achieved that at the age of 51. I've helped over 13,000 women achieve success like Chanel did, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can do it too.
Well, I'm 51 years old, and pretty much my whole adult life, I've always been, I've loved to run, and done a lot of running events, 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons, things like that. And running was sort of my, I called it my drug of choice. And once I hit the perimenopause stage of life, I didn't realize that's the stage of life I was in. I just realized something was changing and I wasn't having the same results as I was before from running. It wasn't doing the same thing for me, and my body was hurting and I was tired and I just couldn't figure it out. And then I suddenly started to realize that it could be a hormone issue. So I got online and I started to research ways to help myself, and came across lots of websites, lots of different places where I could educate myself. But then when I came across your program, and I just felt so comfortable with you and your vulnerability about your process. And I just kept looking into it and decided, you know what, I'm not gonna give up on transforming myself in the way that I want to. I've got to get back on track some way, somehow, but be connected to people that understand. And so that's why I joined the program. I needed something to get me out of my just depression and apathy about my situation. And it turned out this was the perfect place for me to come.
And how are you feeling about your results, Chanel?
You know, I honestly, when I'm just sitting here even now looking at the pictures, I still I can't believe it. I really would not have thought that it was possible to have this much of a change at my current age, because changing your body composition when you're younger is so much different. It didn't take nearly as much, and so I had sort of given up on the idea of ever feeling good and being fit. And so I feel, honestly, I if I it helps me to look at the pictures, because it really becomes a reality, especially the before and after. I'm like, wow, this was a huge change. I'm just shocked. I'm just so excited.
Chanel won $2,000 on my 8-week transformation challenge, and she's in the running to win a whopping $20,000, which is the best transformation over 3 months. So watch out for that and watch right until the end, because I'm going to show you how you can enter and win some massive cash prizes and transform your body in my 8-week transformation challenge. Chanel's story is pretty typical, isn't it, of any women at this age and kind of fat loss, but she also had one other problem that actually prevents most of us believing that we're going to be able to do it.
And I just want to say, I had 3 spine surgeries prior to this competition. I've had 3 spine surgeries and a cervical fusion in my neck, and so I really had a lot of chronic pain, and that's one reason why I was sort of hopeless about being able to transform myself. And as a nurse, I know that there's a lot of medications that can be provided for pain and depression and all those things. And I'm telling you, the biggest reason I want to inspire women is because a lot of us at this age experience pain and depression and things like that.
So how did she get such remarkable results in 8 weeks? Well, I'm going to show you in the next 10 to 15 minutes how you can achieve this too. Do you remember how Chanel said she was doing tons of running, like 5k, 10k, half marathons, but she wasn't seeing results? Let's hear from Chanel.
I've loved to run and done a lot of running events, 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons, things like that. And running was sort of I called it my drug of choice. And once I hit the perimenopause stage of life, I didn't realize that's the stage of life I was in. I just realized something was changing and I wasn't having the same results as I was before from running. It wasn't doing the same thing for me, and my body was hurting and I was tired and I just couldn't figure it out.
The reason running wasn't working anymore for Chanel is it causes women over 40 to lose muscle mass, and we can't afford to lose muscle. So why is muscle important? Muscle is in your internal metabolism fire. So if you put more muscle on, or in other words, more logs on the fire is going to burn hotter and it's going to burn for longer, isn't it? And that's what you want with your body. And muscle is like your body's internal fire that's going to fire up your metabolism, so you're going to burn fat more easily. But if you're running, it's like putting throwing cold water on that fire, and it's just going to put it out, and your body isn't going to be able to burn fat more easily. But if you add into the mix that you're over 40, you're actually already losing muscle at a rate of 1% per year if you don't do anything about it. So what we wanted Chanel to do is actually build that muscle up. That looks like a small amount of muscle, but just to sort of put on that small amount of muscle, which I think is about like a kilo of muscle or 2 pounds of muscle, it actually takes quite a lot of work. So what do you need to be doing? Well, we got Chanel lifting weights, and she was doing that 4 times a week for maybe 45 minutes to an hour, so not long. So what she did, instead of doing all that running, is small amounts of cardio for 20 to 30 minutes, just straight after lifting weights, kind of about 4 times a week. But Chanel is actually a busy nurse, so let's hear from her about what she thought about fitting all that exercise in.
But I was actually very pleasantly surprised at how easy it was to fit in the workouts, because I am used to hard, long workouts from years ago when I used to work out. And I just assumed I would have to really work even longer and harder to transform my body at this stage of life. And it was just shocking. It was the opposite. Really, I was at first almost skeptical at how the exercises that you provided for us, it did not take very long. I could do it in the morning before I went to work, or I could do it when I got home. I could fit it in either way because it wasn't long, extensive times. And I did it right here in my home. It wasn't hard to fit in the workouts at all, just at the beginning or the end of the day, right in the comfort of my own living room.
So we've established exercise. So now I'm going to show you how Chanel, and you can do this too, can actually eat more and lose weight in a matter of 8 weeks. When it comes to food and fat loss, and particularly rapid fat loss, women believe that they need to go on starvation diets, or that they need to do extreme fasting or extremely low carb diets. Chanel didn't do any of those things, and she felt full and satisfied, and she was actually eating more. That sounds like a miracle, doesn't it? But it's not. It's really simple if you know how. The first technique is nutrient-dense food, which is high volume. So I've got this plate of fruit and veggies, because tomato is classed as a fruit, and green veggies. And that's a massive plate, isn't it? And that's like, it's probably about 50 calories, maybe less. And then you've got this packet of chips, or crisps as we call them in the UK. That's 200 calories. So you would only be able to eat a quarter of that to get in the same calories as all of that. And so what that does is it tricks your mind into thinking you've eaten a lot of food, but it also gives you that full sensation. But there is one more really crucial thing that I'm going to show you. So what Chanel did is get in plenty of protein, and I'm going to talk about a meal plan in a minute. But some examples of this would be tofu there, but you could have chicken instead. I know some people don't like tofu. Cottage cheese, that's really high in protein. Greek yogurt, that's really, really high in protein. And I love to supplement, and so did Chanel, supplement with protein powder. I'm going to give you an example of some of the meals that Chanel would eat through the day. So start off with breakfast of protein powder and oats with something like berries or another fruit. She would then have lunch of like chicken or tofu or maybe some lean meat, and then add in rice or potatoes, and then that big plate of veggies that we saw. And then for dinner, she might have like grilled oily fish and some lentils or beans. And then snacks would be a protein shake with berries or Greek yogurt and 70% cocoa dark chocolate. But there is an important thing. This food was weighed and measured out carefully. So in my meal plans, I give that in kind of weights and measurements, what women should be eating. So Chanel was following that. Chanel also, this is really critical, prepared her meals in advance. I always emphasize this to women on my programs to do this. And I'll be honest with you, she was really apprehensive about it. And I was apprehensive about this until I started this kind of 7 or 8 years ago. And you can see the transformation that Chanel's achieved with this. And this is what she said.
I'm going to be honest, right at first, it was a little challenging because I had to get used to the meal prep. But it really fell into place rather quickly when I got a routine with the meal prep. And then, I mean, it literally only took like a week to get my structure in order for the meal prep. But I was actually very pleasantly surprised at how easy it was.
Now I'm going to show you how Chanel got support to ensure that she had the right mindset and she could implement this effectively like she did to get those incredible results. Body transformation over 40 can feel like you're climbing a mountain, can't it? But if you were climbing the mountain with a group of amazing friends, the time would go much quicker, wouldn't it? And you would have fun while you're doing it. And if you got stuck on a really tricky part of the mountain and you had a friend to help pull you up, that would be really incredible too, wouldn't it? And that's what Chanel experienced when she joined the community that's part of the 8-week challenge. And this is what she said about it.
Just getting on track with using a program like yours, especially with the community, those people became my best friends through this. And so yes, it's definitely a lifestyle that will not change for me.
Next, I'm going to show you how you can transform your body just like Chanel in a matter of 8 weeks and win yourself an amazing cash prize. My 8-week transformation challenge is specifically designed for women over 40, and it includes a comprehensive meal plan and a comprehensive workout plan and everything that you could possibly need to get you to your goal and get amazing results. And thousands of women have had real success on this program, not just Chanel, not just the winners, but loads of other women on this program. Click the link in the description to find out more and sign up today. And I'm going to leave you with this final thought from Chanel.
So I think my aha moment happened. So I'm a nurse and I work in a hospital. And I'm up and downstairs and going up and down the halls and things like that. And one day, approximately maybe 4 weeks into the program, I just remember being at work and I had gone up and down the stairs multiple times carrying heavy equipment and doing things like that. And I was with a coworker and she was just sort of struggling and panting and sweating. And normally I would have been as well. And she looked at me and she goes, "You don't even act like we're working. Like, how are you keeping up with all of this today?" And I said, "Oh my gosh, you're right. I am changing. I am different." And that was really an aha moment because I realized uh, that my strength level, my stamina level, everything about me was just suddenly different, and it just kind of came to reality when I was at work taking care of patients and running up and down the halls. I just felt like I did 15 years ago. And I thought, this is really working for me.